New York session starts in a few minutes and I'm going to show you how the market looks like for today and how to trade it. Let's first get to this screen. Just a few days ago on June 28th on my channel, on my Telegram channel, I've shared this analysis. What I talked about, this is dominance of Tether, USDT. On USDT, we previously made a high and then here at that time on June 28th, as you can see here, we had another top on top of it. So this double top, these double highs that we had here, it gave us a whole bearish momentum. This is what we talked about, that we're going to go up to the neck, which is 833. So I'm also gonna go on the chart, 833 exactly. As you can see, this is the line that I drew here. This was our first, so this was our target. And why it matters? Because right now the market is absolutely jammed. So the time that I talked about it, we were top here, and then we came down here. We made a double top, another double top here. So let me draw it so you have better understanding. So we made another double top here. And we know that double tops, it produces a lot of liquidity. What it means is that it's going to, well, first of all, if it wants to push the price down, it's going to push it further down. For example, right like this one. So this was another double top here. I'm just going to draw it here very quickly. Once it pushed the price down, it went all the way down to here. So like it did not make any structure. It did not make anything like this. No pullback, no retracement, no. What double top does, usually it creates a lot of liquidity that instead of making that, it creates a single line all the way down. So what I expect from here, let me just first remove this one. What I expect from here was the same, but now it's getting worse and worse. So this is really important. You must pay a lot of attention. This is very, very important part of the market because right now we've made multiple double tops, and also we're at a huge liquidity zone, at a huge order block, and we still haven't had any major breakouts. So we've never had anything below this. So this is dominance of Tether. So we have never had any major Bitcoin crash, because if this goes down, then if this goes down, then no major Bitcoin pump. Or we've never had anything that goes all the way up here, because if it breaks this zone, I'm going to delete these circles here and I'm going to draw a zone, because if it breaks above this, then it's not going to stop anywhere around here. It's going to go all the way. So it's going to be something like this. It's going to go probably below that and then above this. Remember, at this point, it's not going to make anything above this. It's not going to be something like this. Don't think of it like this, because this is a double top. So on double top, we have a huge liquidity. It usually stops before that, and then when it moves up, it's gonna be very, very fast. Again, we have a lot of examples on the chart. You can check it out. I don't need to show every single one of it. Another example here, for example, this one here, we had another double top. As you can see, one top here, another one here. When it breaks down, you see that it doesn't make any structure. It just goes all the way down. It doesn't make any structure. It just goes all the way down. And the same goes for the rest of it. And the reason is and also above that is the same. So when it breaks above this, as you can see, it goes all the way to the top. You see this huge leg? It went all the way up. So this is what it means when there's a huge liquidity. The same here on this side. So if it goes above this, we're gonna go probably even higher than this. We're gonna go at 9.29. But if we break, remember, we also had this major double top here too. So if we break from here, then it's going to be another great spike and great pump for Bitcoin. So be very, very careful if you're working on futures, if you're doing future scalps. This is a very, very serious time of the year. So we're not really expecting to do pullbacks or anything of that nature. We may see a few spikes in the next few days. So this is really important. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have. In the previous video, if you remember, we drew this liquidity zone here, this box, and we were somewhere about here at this 8.6-ish, and when we talked about it. sorry, we were at this level. So we went down, up, and then up until we reached our box here. So at this box right now, it created on the 4-hour time frame, it created a very huge liquidity. And the reason I'm analyzing the USDT, the Tether, and then I will go to the Bitcoin right after this. But the reason is that you can also rely on this for your altcoins. So you can also do you know that what is the Ethereum, or if you do Solana or anything else, any other altcoins, you know that how they're going to react for today's market. What we have to have in mind is that first of all, we have made a huge liquidity here. We have made this zone. As you can see, there's no shadow below this. So it created a very, very strong liquidity here. And not just that, but also this candle, this is the most important one. Remember, and definitely learn this. When this candle, it dipped into this, when it tapped into this zone, let me change the color so you won't get confused. When it tapped to this white zone here, then it moved all the way up. So this is a very, very important zone. What it means is that if again price comes down to this one, if you have anything, something like this, let's say from any other point, we will definitely see some actions. I'm not gonna point it like this, but at least up to the top of the previous candle here. Not the shadow, but just the candle close. So it can be from anywhere, okay? It can be from here, it can be from anywhere, all right? But when we tap into this, we are going to see some pullback and retracement. So definitely draw this on your chart. This is really important. You must have something that you can rely on for the future. Probably not today, but in a few days, anytime, it doesn't really matter. Wherever the price came back to this zone, you do have good positions to trade based on it. And as you can see here, we have a very big candle here, and the candle, it does not have any structures. So the same expectation goes for this too. So we may see something like this going all the way down to most probably this candle. This is a very also important candle. We can go all the way to here. We may have some structures and moving up. So in the lower time frame, we can see a better view. For example, on 1 hour or 15 minutes time frame, you can see that we have made a very beautiful structure. So as I said, those spikes are on a higher time frame that we talked about. Okay, when we see the double top on lower time frame, then we're going to assume that it's going to break very in a spiked way in the lower time frame. But any time frame we're talking about, it's going to be the same time frame. Let me give you another example of that double top, so you have again a better understanding. We have one another here, and then another one here, and as you can see, so this was our neck here. Once it breaks down, it did not make any structure. It went all the way down to the next order block, okay, to the next liquidity zone. So the same is going to happen but the worst part is that it's going to happen in the daily or 4-hour time frame. So be very careful. If you're in futures, you will get wrecked. So make sure you have tight stop losses, because right now market is not joking with us. Let's go back here. Right now on the dominance of Tether, here we have one bullish candle. I'm going to type it BOS. We have a break of structure here. We have another break of structure on this zone, and then the more coming up. While we're here, I'm going to also teach you how to trade this BOS. I've already made another video. You can go ahead and do that. But while we're here, so what you have to do is to identify the lows and highs of that BOS. Right now, we know that this BOS, so let's say if we're in this one, I want to trade this. I want to know where to make this long. So let's say I want to make a long here. I don't know, where should I put my stop loss? Where should I open the market? What I have to do is to put a Fibonacci on the previous zone here, from the low of this up to the high, all the way up to the high. I usually target the 50%. So the 50% zone, the OTE zone, is going to be for me here. As you can see here, we have the 50%. Let me change the color to something else here so we can see it better. Right now, the 50% is at about this zone. So I'm expecting some moves from this one. I can get it from anywhere around here, so I can put my trade. It's gonna be a little bit higher or lower. It's gonna be based on the what we see here. So some people get it from there, some people get it from this low here. It's totally up to you. There's no rule for it, but the thing is, you have to see other liquidity zones here. This is very simple setup so that you can get, and you can target your TP1 at the first one and then the second one here. The same goes for the next ones. So what we can expect is the price move comes back to this zone and get it. Right now we're breaking above this zone. So what I have to wait, to be honest, I want to publish this video as fast as possible so you guys can also use it, but what you can do is still to wait for another zone coming at about here, and once the price moves to here, then you can make a very nice, well, it's going to be short in this market, right? But well, you can make something like this and you can have a very nice position. All right, let me move on to the Bitcoin and see how it looks like right now. What we had in Bitcoin, right now I'm in the 4-hour time frame. So we've spent a lot of time breaking above this zone, this box that I drew here. If I go to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that, well, if you remember from, just so you know, these circles, these are from before, from the other videos. I definitely recommend you to watch them because there's also a lot of good stuff there. We talked about it in the previous video. If you remember what we talked about, we were here at about here. What we talked about was we're gonna come all the way down here up to this bullish order blocks and then move on. You can go ahead, watch it and understand why we said this and why we talked about it. What is the educational, what is the learning points there. So again, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. What it matters is that you understand so you can apply the same mentalities, the same mindset for the next trades. All right, let's move on to the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we had this huge double top. So this double top, if we break below this, we're not gonna wait anywhere close this. We're gonna go all the way up to the 59K. So remember, this is very important. This equal high. Also, if you have strategy trader, it's gonna show you the equal high. You don't need to really identify it yourself. From this equal high right now, as you can see, we tried to break above it, but if you remember from the previous equal highs or lows that I showed you, once we broke above an equal high or once we broke below the equal lows, so we have two highs, and once we broke above them, we had a huge spike. Right now, this is totally opposite of that. As you can see, we broke above this huge liquidity, this huge equal high with this candle, but there was no spike. There was just a structure. There was just candles next to each other. There was no spike. It shows that this momentum is very weak, and there's a good reason. Actually, I think that we're going to see lowers way more often than the highs. But we do still have an OTE, right? We have to make sure that we pass from this. What matters here right now is this 50%. Again, I wish I had published this video a bit earlier because this OT is also a great place to trade, but you get the gist, right? You can also trade on the other pieces. So we have this FVG here, 62,514, and you can do also other, so we're gonna have something, it's gonna be very short, and the lower time frames, do not take this as a major, we're not gonna expect something like this. Just make sure what we're doing, because there's also huge liquidity here too, right? We don't expect a huge spike. Just make sure if you're doing on futures, on lower time frames, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, it's a good zone. This is a good zone. But otherwise, you can target for the lower. Let me go to the lower time frames. Here we had a lot of candles. As we talked about it in the 4 hours, the same's happening here. We had a lot of candles here, and the price is making structures. What structures means is the same lower lows and lower highs. So right now we have broken below this. This was our low here. And then we're not considering the shadows as of now because this is just, well, there are other reasons that we can talk about it in another video, but right now this is a great low for us. And the reason that we're choosing the right low is that when we want to choose the good base for Fibonacci, we have to know what is the baseline and what is the end target for the Fibonacci, so you can have the exact prices. And right now at this price, at this point, we have broken this level with a huge candle, with a huge full-bodied candle. Okay, so we're moving forward, we're moving down. Here we have a nice Fibonacci. Also the bottom here, the low that we got is the 50% of this Fibonacci, which again shows this is a good low for us. And we are moving all the way down. So it looks much better in 15 minutes. To be honest, this structure is making in the 15 minutes. And also Strategy Trader is showing us a lot of good, well, you can see the equal highs, the bearish momentum. If you're still not understanding the equal high, you can see that here we had this another equal high and we went all the way down. We didn't stop. The opposite of that, the vice versa of that, was for the 4 hour that I showed you, that we couldn't spike up and it went all the way down up to where we are here. So it shows that the momentum, it can be more bearish. Let's see how it works on this zone. So we have these two zones. I don't want to make more time of this video. I want to publish it so you can use it. We have these other levels here for us, but remember, we are right now in a bearish momentum unless we break above this zone. So I'm going to draw this for you too. Have it on your chart. Anytime we broke above this and we make a beautiful structure, the same bullish structure that we saw in the dominance of Tether. So something like this, that we have an actual BOS, something like this. Then we're expecting a reversal. Now, before that, it's not gonna be a reversal. So even if we move all the way up to here, if you remember from the previous setup that we had, it can still go down, okay? If it goes all the way up here, we have a huge liquidity here, and then it's going to, so there's this FVG here, which is really important. This is a big FVG. It shows small here, but this is an actual very important FVG here that we can still move us to the all the way down. So have this on your charts. Make sure to be safe. Do not expect a huge move right now for the bullish. We are in the bearish trend, and still we're in the range. Again, I have to make sure that we understand we are in a range in the 4 hours in the daily time frame. If you see that we're still in the range, there will be a huge spike, but I'm not expecting it right now. Even on the dominance of Tether, we are making another, let me go to other charts. We are making another order block. Let me get rid of this so I can tell you what I mean by that order block. Right now you see that we have this candle. Let me point to this. This green candle, it made a big order block for us. What it means is that if I get the high and low of this, we had a lot of touches here. Not just that, but also it pushed the price all the way to the top, okay? This is what is important. It pushed the price all the way to the top. And right now we are about to make the same thing. It's not confirmed yet. The day is not over. Remember, this is daily and we're still at 8:49 a.m. in New York time. The day is still not over, but if we close above this, if we close above this high, and ideally it would be better if we close above this high, but if we close even above this high, it shows that the momentum is going to be super bearish. We're not going to look for any more long in our targets. Yeah, so definitely have this on your chart, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you also have a good trading day and make some good money. Have a good day.